Back here on Sportsline, moving on from the introduction of Vanderbilt women's basketball coach Shea Ralph. I think there's a potential there. There could be some growing excitement about women's basketball on the West End over the next couple of seasons. There's excitement now about the NFL draft. 1 week from tomorrow night in Cleveland, the Titans on the board to draft 22nd. And throughout the course of the winter and spring, we've really talked about the need on the defensive side of the ball. It's no secret that has to happen. The Titans were 29th in the league last year in total defense. The pass rush was horrendous. They have to fix that side of the ball. There's no question about it. But in the effort to do that, and Danico Autry and Bud Dupree and Janoris Jenkins and everything they've done over there, they have lost some pieces on the offensive side of the ball. And I wonder a bit, have we overlooked how much they've lost? This was a great offense last year, historically good, at least from the Titans' standpoint. But there is no more Corey Davis. There is no more Jonnu Smith. They let Dennis Kelly go. Can the Titans offense be as good as it was in 2020, in 2021? And what do they need to address on that side of the ball? We know they have holes on defense, but what do they have to do on offense? We asked Jonathan Hutton on the Electric Power Company's Sunday Sports Central. Joined now by our Titans insider, Jonathan Hutton of Outkick. Jonathan, we've talked a lot about the Titans' defensive needs this offseason and the fact that they have to be better than 29th in the league on that side of the ball. We haven't spent much time looking at what they lost on the offensive side from that great unit of a year ago. How concerned are you about offensive regression with this team?
We have to likely assume some regression, Steve, is going to happen just because of the record-setting pace that we watched from this offense last season. To limit that regression, though, can they hit on some players in the draft who will be productive pieces to this offense? They lost two big contributors with Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis departing in free agency, and, of course, Arthur Smith, who developed into a solid play caller. Todd Downing helped out with the layering of the offense last year. Will he be able to impact the offense as a play caller the same way Arthur Smith did? I still think it comes down to this, though. Can they make eight-man fronts, respect the run game, and then capitalize on one-on-ones? Early in the season, A.J. Brown is going to be doubled. And whoever the other four eligibles are, Steve, they have to win one-on-one. Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis won their fair share of one-on-ones. Can these new pieces do the same? You
mentioned Jonnu Smith. He left for New England and big money with the Patriots, leaving the Titans with just Anthony Firkser, Greg Swaim, and a couple of totally unproven youngsters at tight end. What can the Titans do in the draft to make you feel better about the loss of Smith?
Well, they have not replaced the athlete that Jonnu Smith became over the final two seasons. Do they have chain movers, some thumpers? Yes, Firkser and Swaim are those guys. But the Jonnu Smith playmaker is not on the depth chart. But remember, the player that Jonnu Smith was when he was drafted isn't the player that just left in free agency to go sign with New England. He developed into a solid playmaker. The comps to me are Brevin Jordan from Miami and Hunter Long from Boston College. Both are second-day players. They possess a lot of those same all-around athletic qualities, just unpolished, just like Jonnu Smith was when he entered the draft.
Wide receiver Corey Davis and Adam Humphries are both gone now. Josh Reynolds steps in alongside A.J. Brown. But what does John Robinson need to be looking for in the draft when it comes to wideouts?
Well, multiple picks, I think. They need to add on-the-line and off-the-line players. On the line meaning a guy who can make the combat catch, get off press coverage, but maybe more importantly, an off-the-line player, Steve, more of a speedster who can separate and blow the top off. And as deep as this draft is at wide receiver, they can find both types of players. I'd like for them to target a day one or day two receiver and then another on day three. And just to give an example of the depth of this group, Tennessee's Josh Palmer, that there is a high likelihood that he's still around on Saturday of the draft, and he's a quality option. Having players like Palmer available on day three, that's going to help the Titans as they bolster a position that needs a boost.
Yeah, a lot of depth at that wide receiver position. Jonathan Hutton, we get a full draft preview from you next Sunday night.
Just around the corner. Can't wait.